Should we be concerned about seed oils in our diet? Or are seed oils bad or good for us?
So yeah, seed oils are super misunderstood right now, I
Okay.
think. They're quite villainized as like this reason for our health issues.
Everyone's like, if it's got seed oils, don't eat it, right?
Yeah.
What is their actual research and science saying about seed oils?
Seed oils are consumed all around the world, to be clear, and they're consumed pretty abundantly all around the world. We've always called them vegetable oils here. So if you go look at vegetable oils, like they're just seed oils are oil that comes from a seed, right? They go through this refinement process. And the thing about them is they don't have really a lot of redeeming qualities in terms of like nutrients within them outside of their fatty acid profile, but they're just a polyunsaturated fatty acid. And when you look at the actual evidence on these polyunsaturated fats and you look at epidemiological data, you look at like people who are consuming seed oils and their health outcomes, there is not good data that they're harmful to our health.
Really?
And in fact, the research actually shows that they're potentially beneficial when replacing saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats, particularly with people who are at risk of cardiometabolic disease.
Really?
Really?
Why are so many people saying that seed oils are like poison and you can't eat them at all?
I think it probably comes from a few places. One, I think that got a lot of traction with the rise of kind of paleo and carnivore diets, 10, however many years ago. Seed oils they're in a lot of foods that are pretty low nutrient, unhealthful foods, right? A lot of processed foods because they're cheap and they are pretty flavorless compared to like an olive oil.
Yeah.
And so these food corporations use them and they put them in their foods. And so we're over consuming seed oils in this country. We eat lots of them, lots of polyunsaturated fatty acids. And we don't really pair that with omega-3s, which come from like fish and algae and those types of things. And so when that happens, when you're over consuming anything, it can be problematic. And so I think that truth exists, and people kind of extrapolate that to mean they're super inflammatory and they're causing every issue under the sun. And we just don't have that data to suggest that. I mean, my mother-in-law from Rumedia, she cooks, stir fries in seed oil most days. And that's pretty common elsewhere, right? So I guess my issue with it is if we're saying that's toxic, a lot of people, that's an accessible oil. Like if you look at Costco, for example, the price of the vegetable oil compared to an olive oil or an avocado oil, especially an avocado oil, it's accessible. And so if it's not actually toxic and we're telling people it's toxic, it can actually cause real harm, not just in people's stress levels, but also in people's accessibility. And so I think that's the issue. Like we should be honest about the fact that they're in lots of low nutrient, ultra processed foods that we absolutely should be minimizing in our diet.
So correlation, not causation.
Yeah. And even when we look at good studies that are done, when we look at people who are consuming them, we do not see that they're harmful to health.
Really?
Yeah.
So are there any studies that show that seed oils a little bit at a time are actually harmful for you? Or is it more just over consuming bad foods that have seed oils are harmful?
Yeah, and I think over consuming polyunsaturated fats can be harmful too. So if you
what are those?
Those are like linoleic, alpha-linolenic acid, arachidonic acid, converts to arachidonic acid.
And that's in oils, or what is that in mostly?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't
you
know.
didn't mean the fatty acid profile.
I don't need that. I don't need that scientific term. I'm like, talk to me like I'm a fifth grader. What is this food group? What is this in?
Polyunsaturated fats are like, they're omega-6 fatty acids is really what we're talking about when we're talking about the seed oils. And so they're high in omega-6, which are like linoleic and alpha-linolenic acid. And so those are going to be...
That's what's in oils.
That's what's in the oil.
Yeah.
So that's the fatty acid profile in the oil versus like a saturated fat from like meat or something has saturated fats. So these are polyunsaturated fats. And so again, you find them in a lot of foods that are quite ultra processed and low nutrient.
Is there certain types of oils that are better than others in general when using for cooking?
Yeah, so olive oil is a good one, but also vegetable oils are fine to use for cooking.
So vegetable oil
that's what the research would suggest.
Vegetable oil is a seed oil, is what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah.
All vegetable oil is seed oil?
Yeah, so if you look at a vegetable oil, it'll have a bunch of different types of oil, and that will include seed oils.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
it'll include like safflower oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, They call it rapeseed oil in other countries. So all of those are considered seed oils and also vegetable oils.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you look on a label, a food label, it's not going to say seed oils. It's going to say either the individual oil or vegetable oil.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So based on research and science right now, putting vegetable oil in your stir fry or in your food when you're cooking it is not harmful. Is that what I'm hearing based on the research?
Yeah.
But everyone's saying that it's like the worst thing and you have to get it out of all your foods, and
I know
protein bars without seed oil, it's like the greatest discovery of all time or something. But that's just not the case based on science right now.
It's just not, the evidence doesn't suggest that that's the case.
So you're saying that it might be in the future if there's science that suggests, but right now there's no science.
It's not just that there's no science. There's science showing that it's not harmful right now.
Interesting.
So yeah, so I think that we're getting in like a little bit of a difficult area because of how much social media tells us that it's so bad.
You just believe
it's in our head.
Yeah.
So then if we're eating it, we're thinking it's bad, you know, and like the whole psychology aspect of it. And also, you know, like I think that the problem is that like when you're consuming seed oils, like if you have somebody who's like, I'm going to get rid of seed oils, right? And they're eating a standard American diet. And they're like, I'm going to remove seed oils because that is the reason for all the health issues. What are they going to get rid of? They're not going to be able to eat most low nutrient ultra processed foods anymore because like all your chips, all your crackers, like
it's a good thing, right?
It all has like seed oils in it. And so by nature of kind of like removing seed oils, you are kind of increasing the nutrient density of your diet.
You're eating more whole foods.
You're eating more whole foods and you're eating less low nutrient ultra processed food. Exactly.
That has those oils in it. Yeah.
And so by the nature of just focusing on seed oils, you're actually like improving your overall diet quality immensely for the most part.
But removing seed oil from your cooking is not going to do anything necessarily. It's more of like from the ultra processed foods.
Yeah.
Removing the processed foods that have seed oils is what's harmful.
Yeah, because especially for most Americans who are over consuming those foods.
Right.
We again, 70% of our food environment is ultra processed foods, right? And so if we are eating the majority of our food as these low nutrient ultra processed foods, we are eating a lot of polyunsaturated fatty acids. And when you eat too much of anything, it's a problem.
I mean, it sounds like you got into this field because of, you know, a personal pain that you went through, seeing your grandfather go through this experience when he was quite young, at still early 60s, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Where do you think the system failed him? Did he have the information? Did he not have the information? Was it, you know, was he just, or was there some other factors there that we could have done better as a system to support him?
Yeah, I touched on it a little bit when we just like, you know, we thought we were doing the right thing by just kind of swapping out the goodies that he loved, right? Like
for sugar-free,
we would just buy like sugar-free donuts. And so that was more of like an education deficit where we just kind of didn't know what the right thing was for him. I also think that, you know, he worked retail his whole life and then also worked a second job, kind of like refurbishing cars. And so I think that it was kind of like a time deficit for him as well.
No sleep and
and just like he didn't have a lot of time to prepare all of the meals, and so it was, I think, a combination of those things. I think education could have played a role, and it's just kind of an environment. Midwest. I grew up in the Midwest, and you know, we have kind of shaped through decades of policy culture.
Yes.
And so culture can be really tough to overcome.
Fast food options and all that stuff. Yeah.
And a lot of times when I talk about these policies that could help to kind of like shift our food environment or our, you know, any sort of like public health kind of environment, people will push back and be like, well, this is part of our culture.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.